Welcome to the Science of Fiction HFY Galaxy Tales. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a new story from HFY Galaxy Tales, where humanity always finds a way. The Council meeting the Galactic Peace Council was the most powerful force in the known universe. Its chamber floated in space above a neutral planet, built from crystal and silver, glowing with calm blue light. Representatives from over 50 alien species sat in large curved rows, dressed in robes and armor, each speaking in quiet tones. Through translators, at the back of the chamber, the human delegation entered. Only 3 of them, wearing dark suits with small silver pins. They smiled politely, nodded to everyone, and took their seats. They didn't look strong or dangerous, just quiet and well-mannered. Ambassador Varen of the Ashari watched them closely. He was young, curious, and trained to read body language. To him, the humans always looked too calm. No fear, no nervous energy. Just steady eyes and slow movements. They act like prey. His advisor whispered, harmless, but Varen frowned. No, he said, they act like something that doesn't need to fear. The meeting began, and the humans proposed a peaceful trade route through the disputed rim sectors. The other delegates protested immediately. That space is unstable, said the Sauriac speaker. Too close to the former war zones, said another. The humans listened, nodded, and answered softly. We believe cooperation brings balance. The lead human said, trade will help all of us prosper. Their voice was calm, almost too calm. The vote was scheduled for the next cycle, and the meeting ended peacefully. But something strange happened the next day. 7 delegates who opposed the vote changed their minds. No one knew why. They simply arrived at the council chamber and announced their support. No threats were reported. No meetings were recorded. They just changed. Ambassador Varen noticed this. He began to ask questions, but the answers were vague. One delegate said, I had a dream, a change of heart. Another said, it's better not to resist progress. It felt wrong, too quiet, too perfect. So Varen accessed the old archives. He wanted to know more about humans before they joined the council. What he found shocked him. Wars longer than most species' history. Planets burned, enemies defeated, in weeks, not years. He found something called asterisk. Ambassador Varen sat in his chamber with the old data glowing before him. He read about human wars, brutal, fast, and final. No endless battles, no drawn-out diplomacy, just overwhelming strikes, followed by silence. They didn't fight for land or honor. They fought to win, quickly and completely, and then they rebuilt what was left. It wasn't war, it was a lesson. Varen scrolled through old reports, some blocked by red warnings, others marked declassified. Council eyes only. He found records of minor species who tried to invade human space. All of them vanished from history within months. No press, no trials, no survivors. One report mentioned a rebel fleet entering the Sol system. 3 days later, the fleet was gone. The humans had sent no warning, issued no threats. They simply acted. Varen leaned back, feeling a chill. They didn't beg for peace. He whispered. They pretended to need it. The next day, the humans returned to the council hall. This time, they brought a new proposal: expansion into 5 neutral systems. It was bold, too bold. Those systems were claimed by smaller species still recovering from past wars, the council argued, voices rising. The humans stood still, smiling patiently. We offer protection and shared resources, their diplomat said calmly. Together, we are stronger. But Varen saw it now. They weren't offering safety, they were offering dominance in polite words. He watched the room closely. Some delegates were sweating, others silent, their eyes avoiding contact. By the end of the session, 10 more votes flipped in favor of the humans. It didn't make sense. Varen checked on those delegates later. One had received a mysterious shipment from Earth. Another canceled all press interviews. One even resigned quietly the next morning. No one asked why. No one dared. That evening, Varen called a private meeting with the human envoy. He sat in a small, dark chamber. Across from the diplomat in a polished gray suit, the human's eyes were calm. His voice soft. You seem worried. Ambassador, the man said, sipping tea. I know what you're doing, Varen replied, trying to sound confident. I've seen the old records. I've seen the vanishing votes. The silence. The human didn't blink. He placed the teacup down gently and leaned forward. We came in peace, he said slowly, and we still believe in peace. But peace must be protected. Varen's hands tightened. You're manipulating the council, he said. You're pretending to be diplomats." The human smiled, not cruelly, but like someone speaking to a child. "Ambassador. Ambassador, Redditors don't roar in the forest, they walk quietly. We are here because we chose not to be monsters, not because we couldn't be." Varen froze, unsure what to say. That one sentence said more than any war declaration. He left the chamber shaken. The next day, the council approved the human expansion plan, without a single voice raised in protest. No one dared, and in that moment, Varen understood. The humans weren't rising, they had already risen, and the galaxy hadn't realized it until now. They had walked into the council chamber with smiles, but behind those smiles were ancient instincts, sharpened by a history of fire. They were not diplomats, they were Redditors in suits. Apex revealed *, it began with a small border attack. A minor alien empire called the Threxan Syndicate sent a fleet toward a human colony near the rim. They believed the humans would respond with diplomacy, maybe a warning. They thought humans were slow to act, bound by council rules. They were wrong. Within 24 hours, the Threxan fleet disappeared from radar. No distress calls, no survivors, just silence. Within 48 hours, all 5 Threxan-controlled systems went dark. By the third day, their home planet no longer existed on council star maps. The council called an emergency meeting. Delegates shouted across the chamber, demanding answers. The human representatives arrived late. As ever, their leader stood in the center. Unarmed and smiling, "We regret the loss of life," he said softly, "but aggression against our people is not tolerated." Varen stood and faced him, voice trembling. "You destroyed an entire empire in 3 days," he said. "That wasn't self-defense. That was extermination." The human tilted his head. "We warned them once, years ago," he said. "They chose to forget. We did not." The chamber fell silent. No one dared respond. Even the strongest empires stared at the humans now with quiet fear. One delegate whispered, "You could wipe out all of us." The human looked at him and replied, "Why would we? Peace is better." Varen stepped forward. He turned to the chamber and raised his voice. "We have been blind," he said. "We thought humans were soft because they smiled. We thought they were weak because they built friendships. But now, we see the truth." He pointed at the human delegation. "They are not diplomats, not really. They are apex predators who learned to walk gently. They watch, they listen, and when they move, no one sees them coming. They don't roar, they don't threaten, they simply end the fight before it begins." The council chamber remained silent, not from fear but from understanding. From that day forward, no one underestimated humanity again. Their place in the galaxy was no longer questioned. They didn't take control by force, they earned it, through fear wrapped in calm words, and every species remembered one simple truth. The most dangerous creature is not the one that growls, it's the one that smiles and waits. The end.